Hello students, today we are going to discuss about working mechanism of heart. Before this we have discussed about internal structure of the heart and conducting system or electrical pathways of the heart. Then we know that heart role is blood receiving and blood propelling, maintaining uniform direction of the blood flow. So this heart which acts in the form of cardiac cycle, which is also called as heartbeat. One cardiac cycle which takes place within 0.1-0.8 seconds. Each cardiac cycle or each heartbeat which is divided into 2 events. One is the contraction, second is the relaxation, and we know that our heart also consists of 2 parts: distal or vessel part, which is called as atrial chambers, and tapering proximal part, which is called as ventricles. Again, this atria are of 2 types. Ventricles are of 2 types. One which is called as left atrium, which receives oxygenated blood, and right atrium, which receives deoxygenated blood. In the left atrium, 2 pairs of pulmonary veins pours blood, while in the right atrium, 3 veins pours blood. That is superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and coronary sinus. So, cardiac cycle means a cyclic rhythmic changes occurring in the working of heart, or events those are related with one event, one cardiac cycle, one heartbeat, and time required is 0.1 second. Here contraction of the atrial chamber, then contraction of ventricular chamber takes place, then diastole of first atrium, and then diastole of ventricle takes place. So we will discuss one by one these events. First, the atrial systole. The atrial systole means contraction and maintain. How this takes place? The atrium, which is blood receiving chamber, which is thin walled, both are blood receiving. No doubt, when this blood is poured into these atria, when there is complete filling of the atrial chamber, there is a pressure created on the wall of atria, and due to which one nodal tissue which is stimulated. That nodal tissue which is situated at the base of sinus venosus, that nodal tissue is called as sinoatrial node, which is very important, from which heartbeat or contraction initiated. So important, and which is create that wave of contraction which spreads over the wall of atrium and total atrium contracts. That event is called as atrial systole, and time required for the atrial systole, which is 0.1 second. Then this atrial systole, which is at relaxed phase or diastolic phase, and time required by the diastolic phase, atrial diastole, which is 0.7 second. With that, when there is a contraction of blood in the atrium, what happens? Many times in this blood vessel, backflow, chances of backflow of the blood, also possible to prevent that. There are some walls are present. The wall presence or option which depends on the position or situation of that blood vessels or the openings in the heart. Here, pulmonary veins which pours pure blood into the left atrium. There are 2 pairs of pulmonary veins, but these are obliquely placed in the wall of heart in the atrium. So walls are absent. The superior vena which is present superiorly, that's why wall is not necessary, but wall in the or on the mouth or opening of the inferior vena cava and coronary sinus are present. The wall which is present at the opening of coronary sinus is called as the Bayesian wall, and the wall which is present at the opening of veins, which is called a eustachian wall. This wall prevents backflow of the blood. Then the blood is poured into the ventricles. The pure blood from the oxygenated blood from the left atrium pours into the right atrium, the left ventricle, and from the right atrium blood is poured into the right ventricle. Then ventricular systole starts, which is initiated from this point, which is called as atrioventricular node. Basically, atrioventricular node which is stimulated due to the wave of contraction which reaches from the SA node. Then the wave of contraction which is conducted by the bundle of leaves and Purkinje fiber, those are present in the wall of ventricles, and due to the fast conduction of wave of contraction over the wall of ventricles, there is ventricular systole takes place, and for the complete ventricular systole 0.3 seconds are required. Then ventricle enters in the phase of ventricular diastole, and this ventricular diastole which lasts for 0.4 seconds. We know that when there is ventricular systole, chances of backflow of the blood in the atrial chamber is also possible, but which is prevented due to the presence of tissue walls present. Between these two, we know the names. Between left atrium and left ventricle, there is a bicuspid wall or metal wall. Between the right atrium and right ventricle, there is tricuspid wall. When there is ventricular systole, these walls are closed and sound is created, which is sounds loud. There is one phase, that is relaxation phase. At that phase, both chambers are at relaxation phase. Here, atrial relaxation or diastole, which is for 0.7 seconds, and this ventricular diastole, which is about 0.4 seconds. So these two chambers are, that is atrium and ventricles are at relaxation phase or diastolic phase, which is called as joint diastole or common diastole, and time for joint diastole is about 0.4 seconds. When there is contraction of ventricle, means ventricular systole, blood is given out or blood is thrown, pushed into the related blood vessels. The total amount of blood, which is about 70 ml of blood per stroke, per ventricular systole, 70 ml of blood is given out by the heart, which is called as stroke volume. We know that our heart beats 72 times in the normal adult person, 72 times per minute, and per stroke about 70 ml of blood is given out. So per minute about 5040 ml of blood is given out by the heart, which is called as cardiac output. The amount of blood which is given out by the blood per stroke, which is called as stroke volume. So this is about this mechanism of working of the heart. Then about regulation of cardiac activity, means these activities are regulated by which methods and by which conditions. Basically, our heart is myogenic. Myogenic means which is not totally controlled by the nervous system. In the lower animals, these heart activities are controlled by the nervous system. These hearts are called as neurogenic hearts. But wave of contraction which is still stimulated, which is initiated in the SA node, in the wall of atrium, so called as myogenic heart. But no doubt, this heart activity is controlled by two methods, one by the nervous system and second by chemical method or hormonal system. The nervous system, we know that our nervous system, which is well developed, which consists of three parts, CNS, PNS and ANS. From this ANS, which is autonomous nervous system, which is working autonomously, not working according to our will, ANS. This ANS consists of two parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic nervous system, which increases rate of heartbeat, mostly which is working during the stress, during the fear, during the emotional conditions. But this working, which is due to the secretion of neurotransmitter, which is nothing but a neurotransmitter which is called as epinephrine. Which increases beating of the heart. Then autonomous nervous system, which also consists of two parts. Second part, which is called as parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system, which also related with regulating cardiac activity, but which reduces the heartbeats, and which is working by secreting hormone acetylcholine, neurotransmitter. We have to remember this neurotransmitter. Sympathetic nervous system works by secreting epinephrine, while parasympathetic by secreting neurotransmitter acetylcholine. So both are important. This acetylcholine reduces beating of the heart. When the person is at relaxed phase or at resting stage. At the same time, this nervous system, which also controls by or with the help of this cardiovascular center, which is situated into the medulla oblongata. This medulla oblongata connected to the heart with the help of the vagus nerve. That is, which controls this activity, as well as there are some situations, conditions. And these conditions means different receptors receives the stimuli from the surrounding and gives this stimuli or sends stimuli in the form of impulse to the respective centers. Those are working voluntarily. Those are present in the hypothalamus. That means hypothalamus center also related with these cardiac activities. Then there are some chemical substances. That means conditions like hypoxia, acidosis, alkalosis. That means when there are changes in the physiological conditions, then also cardiac activities are also reduced, as well as the ionic material which increases in the body fluid, then also cardiac activity also reduces. That means sodium, potassium ions, their amount increases, then there is reduction in the cardiac activity. So this is about working of the heart, its regulation. So before this, we have discussed two components of closed type of blood vascular system. One is the blood, its components, then heart, its external morphology, internal structure, working. All this we have discussed. Then about third component, that is the blood vessels. When the closed vascular system consists of these three components, but important thing is that there is no direct contact between organ, system, tissues and cells with blood. Blood is the circulating fluid which flows through the closed blood vessels, and these blood vessels are of three types. One is the artery, second is the vein, third is the capillary. Arteries are important. We know that when there is a ventricular systole, blood is forcefully enters into the blood vessels. From the left ventricle, blood enters into the aorta. This aorta carries that oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. Secondly, this right ventricle pours blood into the pulmonary artery, pulmonary aorta, and this pulmonary aorta carries blood to the lungs for the purification. We know that when there is ventricular systole which is forceful and which pours blood in these blood vessels, and blood is carried away from the heart, and which takes place with the help of artery. Arteries are the blood vessels. These arteries carry blood away from the heart. dorsal aortic arch which carries blood which is oxygenated and supplies to all parts of the body. But blood which is carried by the pulmonary aorta which carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs for the purification. When there is ventricular diastole, at that time backflow from these arteries, aortas, made possible to prevent the backflow. Openings of these blood aorta or blood vessels which is guarded by semi-lunar pores. Their closing creates some duct. So in this way, backflow from this vessel which is prevented and blood carries to the different parts. So arteries are important which carries mostly pure blood away from the blood. Only exceptional case is the pulmonary artery which carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs for the purification, but remaining, that means aorta which carries blood which is oxygenated and away from the heart to the different parts of the body to supply the material. So blood is forcefully enter this. That's why these arteries are thick walled. These arteries are present in the deeper part of the body. In the artery, blood flows under the high pressure. That's why histologically this artery is thick walled. Histologically, these arteries and veins consist of three layers. First is the tunica externa. That is the external layer of the blood vessel which is formed from tough fibrous material which is protective in function. Second, tunica media, middle layer, which is formed from smooth muscles, which is helpful for the supply of blood to compensate the blood pressure created by the ventricles. This tunica media, which is well developed into the artery, which is not well developed in the veins. Why? Veins are blood collecting blood vessels. The blood is carried towards the heart, so there is no more pressure on the blood which is flowing in the veins. And to prevent backflow in the veins, in the lumen, wall is present. And third, tunica intima or tunica interna, which is the innermost layer, which is formed from endothelial cells. Those are formed from squamous epithelial cells, flat squamous epithelial cells, and in the corner, this type of structure is present called as tessellations. These are the tessellations, and at the center, lumen is present. That is, the cavity is present through which blood is flowing. Then about capillary. Capillaries are one cell thick. Those are close to the different organs and systems. These capillaries, or through this capillary, blood flows under pressure. These capillaries consist of pores in the wall. These are called as endothelial pores or fenestrae, through which material from the blood given out according to law of diffusion. The material which is supplied to the surrounding fluid, which is called as body fluid. There is no direct contact between this organ tissue. But around this there is the presence of body fluid. So according to law of diffusion, oxygen, food material, water which is given on through this chemistry to the surrounding. At the same time, blood corpuscle which is called as WBC, which also comes out through this chemistry which is called as diaphoresis. The movement of WBC which comes out and creeps over on the surface of organs which is called as diaphoresis. At the same time, from the surrounding waste material, non-essential material which enters in the capillaries, which is nothing but carbon dioxide, metabolic water, another nitrogenous waste which is from the surrounding pour into the capillary. Capillaries is blood collecting converted into veins and carried to the aorta. We know that during ventricular systole, blood forcefully enters into the arteries and there is a wave created. The waves are created in the arteries. Those are easily detected in the carotid, brachial arteries. These are called as pulse. Pulse, the blood waves created in the arteries due to the contraction due to the ventricular systole. These are the pulse. Those are equal to our heartbeat. These heartbeats are indirectly counted with the help of this pulse. In the wrist region, we can easily count. With that heartbeat number is about 72 times per minute in the normal person. But if you suppose that this heartbeat goes above 100 beats per minute, that condition is called as tachycardia. If this heartbeat goes below the 60 beats per minute, which is called as bradycardia, means deviations from this normal heartbeat conditions, that is tachycardia, bradycardia. Tachycardia, where there is increase in the heartbeat; bradycardia, there is reduction or lowering the heartbeat. So we will discuss afterwards about the remaining parts. Thank you. Watch this video.